Real Rap Coalition, we back at it again with another installment of the MCU Crash Course. This is part 2, episode 2. We watched Captain Marvel, and we gonna talk about it. This the road to Doomsday, and we here, man. I am your host, Cap Roots. Who we got with us?
It is I, KTL Omega, the belt collector, the best belt machine, the one-winged angel.
So we started to talk about this before we went on air, but you were mentioning the difference production wise between Captain America and Captain Marvel.
Was this bitch this was in 2017 or so? We still got Game of Thrones in the ticker. Roots. You might have to fix the scroll and banner down there at the bottom.
God damn it!
I should say Game of Thrones. But yeah, 2019. I mean, so the idea is that first off, it is wild to see visually the disparity that only about 8 years makes, but also it is just kind of wild to see the way that the movie ends, and I guess throughout the case is that there's a bunch of shit that, because I haven't watched these movies in a while, I know is referential to other shit, and I think that I'm going to enjoy that there. But right now, it's just its own standalone joke, Yeah. I do think they utilize it. It also showcased. There's some people that have different critiques of Marvel films. One of them being that they find comedy and shoehorn levity into things that should be more serious. They're every fucking character is snarky, and that is on display here. Everybody gets their little jokes and funny moments and quips and shit. I don't necessarily mind it, but it's definitely a departure from Captain America. Most of that shit wasn't that comedic. I feel like it was just kind of a an origin story. I mean, this is too, but I guess it also bears fucking mentioning that, for the comic book nerds out there, this isn't fully accurate to the Captain Marvel backstory.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it was good. It's Brie Larson that plays her?
Shit. Find that out right now.
I feel like that's which is funny because they literally named the other bitch Larson and shit, so
yep, Brie Larson.
That's a bit of irony. I mean, she looked good as hell in this movie.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Salute to that upper tier white woman.
Yeah, for sure. It's funny that you mentioned the comedy. We're just now within this past year getting to the point where we actually talk about the fact that the one-liners kind of gets exhausting, especially when they do it. What was it? RDC. RDC put out a video probably about 2 to 3 months ago at this point, and they were making fun of that, how somebody will die and then a random character has one line joke or whatever, and it's not fitting to the scene at all. And I get when they used to do it when it first started, because I mean, all of these characters, not all of them, but the ones that we know Marvel for, the Captain America, the Iron Man, the Spider-Man, Deadpool, those bigger characters that we've known for a very long time, that's their thing. Especially Spider-Man, that was his shit. That's really who we know for doing the the one-liners and shit like that. It's just where they fit it in at is always it's a bit off-putting at times, So, but yeah, we're just now getting to the point where we notice they do this a lot. And this isn't really that funny anymore. But I mean, I see it for what it is, and I don't judge it much. However, in the movies to come, especially with them being a little bit more on the, not even a little, a lot more on the serious side, especially after Endgame and Infinity Wars, and this being a kind of continuation of that aspect of it, I would think that they would dial that back and fill it in with some better writing for the script at some points. That's a suggestion, you know. So, but yeah, um,
I think that it was pretty cool that within this movie, you get to see what happens to Samuel L. Jackson's character after the ending of Pulp Fiction. I think that that was pretty
what?
neat. You know, just running around in a suit with a fake ass hairpiece and shit on. Sam Jackson, you've been bald for 10, 15 years, bro.
Yeah, no,
They
it's
put that little
super
shit at,
weird.
bro. That shit literally looks like the whenever they had Norman Osborn with waves in the comics and shit. That fucking hairpiece was shit, boy.
Yeah, no, and I actually didn't notice it the first few times I watched it until this time. It just looks mad weird. It makes his face look smaller. He got a super low
That whole
hairline.
looks
It looked
glued
like it
on,
was
bro. Like
designed by a white person.
it looks like it's got ever so slight of a space between the hairpiece and his scalp. Like
Yeah,
it is not form fitting.
yeah.
And
I
but
think that if you're gonna put hair on a black man, you should have a black person do it because they have a better idea of how it's supposed to look. I'm fully. Nobody can convince me otherwise that a white woman didn't put that on his head.
that's like who was it that they had play Michael Jackson in that motherfucking movie and his hair looked like all fucked up and shit. Like that's why they redoing that shit now. But yeah, like I'm watching, Fury and Scroll Coulson, drive through the city and shit, and like crash wrecking into shit, and I'm like, this literally just looks like a Pulp Fiction scene. Like this shit, I don't know, man.
I
Uh,
do like seeing the lighter side because we know that, or we at least have an idea that Fury wasn't always the Fury that we knew when we were introduced to him in, what was it, Iron Man 2? I think
I
that's when
mean,
they brought
technically,
him
I
in.
think we saw him in the last movie we just watched.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Um, but I think just in release order, I think the first time that we saw him was in whatever year that was, 2009, when, or probably 2010, whenever they introduced him. He comes in as like a more serious, very seasoned character. And this is his earlier days of that, which it makes sense. Um, so it was cool seeing that, his progression, what he's come from. Especially seeing, like I said, the seasoned aspect of it. All of these years past, they've dealt with so much different shit, and he just turns to be a different person. I also like the little, and I'm sure that's not comic book related either, how he ended up wearing the eye patch with
Uh-huh.
the what's the shit called? The
The
fucking
flirkin,
smoogle?
the flirkin scratching him in the fuck.
Flirkin, yes. The Flirkin scratched the shit out of his eye. And then what's the agent's name?
Colson.
Coulson, asking him, did you really get, your eye burned out by
Uh-huh.
the Kree because you wouldn't give him the Tesseract? And he's like, I won't tell you if that's true or not. You can believe what you want. What's going on, Travis?
Travis here. Let me go look.
Yeah,
There he is.
Big Trav in the comments. Hey,
Shout out to bro.
yeah, feel free to type, what you want. Give us all the info that you got, and we'll keep going with it. But
I guess I probably should do this. Obviously we're already in here. Spoiler alert, like, comment, subscribe if you ain't already. I'm going a brief summary of this movie in the same way we did the last time. Captain Marvel follows Brie Larson's depiction of the Kree warrior Veers. The Kree are on a mission to a different planet to attempt to eradicate the Skrulls, a form of shape-shifting aliens who are uh, integrating themselves with other cultures and supposedly, like, causing extinctions of other races and cultures and whatever. So they go to take them out, and she is taken hostage, where they attempt to derive some things from her memory. Through that point in time, she sees things that she is unfamiliar with, and ends up through a long series of events winding up on Earth. While on Earth, she is attempting to eradicate the scroll threat while also discovering things about herself alongside fresh faced agent Nick Fury, played by Sam Jackson. This, during the whole time, is happening while the Kree are attempting to retrieve her and, send backup. However, she learns more of her own backstory and finds out that she was originally Carol Danvers, a female pilot in training, wannabe pilot, who was friends with a doctor named Larson, who was actually a Kree called Marvel. And she was working on some light speed technology that the Skrull wanted their hands on, but it turns out that it was all bullshit, or whatever the case may be. Marvel was killed, and she ended up absorbing her powers. However, it is actually the Kree who are oppressing the Skrulls, who only want a place to live. And now she must grapple with her own identity and decide what she wants to do. Does she want to live with the memories that she already has, or embrace a past that she never knew but is her true self?
I will say before I get to reading this comment, I will say that even in your summary and the time difference between 2011 Captain Marvel and 2019, I'm sorry, 2011 Captain America and 2019 Captain Marvel, even the story has more legs to it. Like
Well,
watching it is still pretty linear. However, there's a lot more going
I'm
on.
not going to bury the lead here. This
Mhm.
is a more interesting movie than Captain America was.
For sure.
Now, whether you attribute that to them having more time and experience in writing the script, or whether you attribute that to the character itself being a bit more interesting. Like I say, they did more with intrigue here. They were able to put some twists there. It's also just kind of cooler to see her use her powers.
Yeah.
Like she has like a cooler set of stuff to work with. I will say this is a 2 hour, or so movie. I do like. I don't know that it felt like it was just dragging, but like I did realize the length of the movie while watching it. Like
Mm.
it feels like there's a lot of stuff done, and it feels like around the hour and a half mark. I'm like, okay, this could be over within the next 5 to 10 minutes. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? What more could they possibly do? And like they shoehorn another 30 into that bitch. But all right,
I'll
Travis.
go ahead and read this. The whole second act sequence with them at Monica's house is the best part of the movie. Sorry, the best part of the movie for me. Carol washing the dishes with Nick gave her some likability that is absent from most of the movie for me. I'll go ahead and read the second one. A lot of people had, a lot of people had didn't. I guess a lot of people didn't like it. I do remember a lot of people not liking this, but I actually think the Marvels is pretty underrated and much better than this movie. Carol Danvers is a vastly more energetic and compelling character in it. Yes.
I didn't watch the Marvels, so
So with the Marvels being that it's in the newer age of Marvel, and it's a lot of, and you'll see this as we go, especially after we get out of the Endgame phase, that it's a lot more, how do I say it?
it's character
Emotionally,
expansion.
it's emotionally intelligent. I'll say that. Um, because of the time that we're in and have been in for a while, socially, they add that part to the movie, and a lot of the newer movies they do add, an emotional um aspect to make you connect more with the characters and to liking it to, like I said, where we are socially in I guess American culture right now. So and it does something for the movie sometimes it doesn't. That may just be me. I like I said, I do remember people not liking this movie as much um when it was released.
Yeah.
And a lot of people took the easy way out and said, "Oh, it's just because she's girl lead and da 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 da." We've had plenty of movies that are female led movies that people liked. You know, I movie female led action movies is a thing. Columbiana, Salt, Ultraviolet, Resident Evil. I can go on, and there's plenty of them that people they have Alien. The Alien franchise is 100% led by a female actor. A
The
majority is
Scream franchise is
the Scream
led.
franchise, exactly. Hell, most of the big horror movie franchises are led by women. The lead actor is a female. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can be weird about it if you want and make it a sexist thing, or you can just look at it how it is. And
There
sometimes
might be some
there
people
might
who
be a
do
bad movie to
really
come out of
think like there might be really some people who don't give something a fair chance in that capacity. However, like around that point in time, you feel me? Like we were just getting a lot of really good Marvel movies. At that point, Thor was in like Thor had just had his best movie.
that.
You had like Infinity War that had happened before this. You had I'm pretty sure at that point it was like at least the second Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep,
You had fucking the Ant
which was
Man
better than
shit
the
that
first
they
one.
did. Well, the Ant Man actually was the second one I think at that point, and that was shit.
The second Eggman, yes, I've only seen that once, and I'm dreading revisiting it.
You know, but like a whole bunch of that shit, you know, like there was just a lot of good Marvel movies at that point. They had a Spider-Man that was there. I want to say it was the second one, or
The
maybe
second
the second.
Spider-Man, we just got out of
No, it might have been the
War,
first
not
one
too
because
long
the
before that.
second one happened after the blip. Like that was like a whole thing about it. I remember.
Mhm.
I think.
Well, there wasn't a lot of movies after the blip. A lot of that was around the same time span. Within 5 years of the
Doctor
second,
Strange happened at that point too.
yeah,
God damn.
a lot of the second and third movies, because that's a lot of where things were in that time. They were really good movies. You know,
Yeah.
Winter Soldier, Civil War being like the third or fourth Captain America movie. Like you said, the Spider Man, the second, not the second Doctor Strange, not that one yet.
The
No,
first one.
they were starting to get into the Marvel shows as well. Like we had a lot of good shit come out around that time, and this was just perceived as on the lower end of that. Do I think the movie is ass? No, I don't. However, there's some
It's a
parts that
lot
I
of
pulled
plot
out.
exposition, bro. It's a lot of explaining this
Yep.
character and motivations and finding out shit. It's less like action and continued character building in depth. It is an introduction to a person, you know, who
Yep.
is like, for all intents and
And
purposes,
honestly,
wildly
feel
powerful.
like I feel like it wasn't necessarily needed. Like we needed that more with a Captain America because we are gonna have Captain America in the next 5 movies.
Yeah.
However, with this, we've only saw her in 2 movies since then, which was the Endgame and or Infinity or whichever one it was, and the
The
Marvels.
Marvels, yeah.
You know, I get
Let's
that.
see here.
Okay, this is a new introduction for a introduction for a new character, and at that point, we didn't have any new characters introductions in however long that was supposed to be a main type character. However, you know, you have to give it's a give and take thing. You know what I'm saying? You have
Yeah.
to exchange some things. I'm gonna read the rest of these
Yeah,
comments.
I'm about to say I was about to do it if you didn't.
Oh yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Let's see. So Travis says the arc I would like to see maybe in Spider-Man 4 is Carol sitting with the Peter on a roof. I don't know why you said the on a roof, reckoning that it should have been her, not Tony, who did the snap, but she failed. The idea that Carol is the new red and gold flying Avenger, feeling like she's kind of his replacement, even though she let him down, standing at the very back of his funeral, would be sad. You
Hmm.
get the moment where Peter says he also felt like he was living in the shadow of Tony Stark for a bit, but he got out of it, and so can she. A team up with them would be cool. I think that, like,
I'm not mad at
I
that.
think that a big problem, like, and I guess going into the Doomsday Saga, we'll start to see it more. But we just need more interaction between these characters. Like we've seen enough of them that they can have like good standalone movies and they can like carry a franchise. All right,
Yeah.
now let's start intermingling with these pieces because realistically speaking, two of the three Captain America movies are not just Captain America. The worst one was him by himself.
Yep.
You know, I mean that's not just hating, but it's cooler when you got fucking Black Panther and Iron Man and fucking Winter Soldier and Spider Man and all type of shit in here.
Yeah.
It gives you more things to work with because like in these movies and shit, like realistically in this movie, Carol Danvers was important. Nick Fury was important. Coulson was kind of negligible. Um, you know, uh,
Yeah.
Not
Taylor.
Monica Rambeau. Maria Rambeau was good. And then you had, I don't even remember his fucking name, that was like the bad guy. And then you had the one Skrull that was the front runner.
Talos.
Yeah, like that was your important people, and you don't really care too much because most of these people aren't going to be carried on into the next movie. They don't
Yep.
get much development or interesting things to do. Like
Yep.
they're a part of a greater universe that is centric around this character that's being built.
Yeah, and a lot of the comic books that we pull things from, or they pull things from to make these movies, they're intermingling segments of the X-Men intermingling with each other, or Deadpool with Cable, or um Doctor Strange with Wanda, or Wanda with Vision. You know, a lot of the things that they did that made the ride to Endgame so fire was the commingling. And I feel like within this last year, they, because it was a time crunch and they were trying to fight back from all of the hate that they was getting, Marvel being, and the new big change of Disney buying it and all of these other things that happened kind of all at the same time. They didn't have time to develop people. You know, we got a chance to sit with Iron Man, Hulk, Black Widow, you know, all of the previous Avengers. We had time to sit with them and learn who they were over the span of time. Whereas with a movie like this, they have to cram everything in one sitting so that it makes sense to move forward. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully, and hopefully Doomsday doesn't get the shit end of the stick when it comes to that, because of everything that they've done. They've only dropped 4 or 5 movies since. They've dropped, I want to say, 3 or 4 different series that
Mm-hmm.
actually has something to do going into Doomsday, but that's not a lot in comparison to where we had 10 years of consistent content from Marvel that all led up to Endgame.
They're
You know?
doing a lot of shit through TV shows now too, where they're like
Yeah.
doing, or and I get it, expand into the different market and like, give more content for people to consume. But it's not like it's still established. Like it's Loki, it's fucking Falcon and Winter Soldier, it's
Mhm.
fucking whatever else. Like they had that shit where it was like Black Widow's sister or whatever the fuck. It's like some shit that
Hawkeye.
like already exists. You feel
Yeah.
me? Like it's not they're not building towards like the new properties that they're supposed to be pushing. You know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
bro? I ain't gonna lie, man. Like y'all made Morbius, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all made Morbius and then did
Technically,
nothing
that
because it
was
was that.
Sony and not
Y'all made
Marvel.
fucking what is that? What is that Spider Queen shit? What was that shit that
Uh,
Sydney Sweeney was
Web,
in?
Madam Web, or
Yeah.
yeah,
Like
Madam
what
Web.
bro? Y'all were just doing shit and then you never mention these fuckers again. And no,
Well,
I'm not
the-
gonna be hype if you like retool the fucking Avengers Assemble moment and Jared Leto comes out of a portal, bro. Like, and we're gonna end up
so
watching that
I'll
movie
shoot.
too.
Hold on, before you continue, I'll shoot him some bail. That is Sony's fuck up. Morbius and Madam Web, and the reason why those movies did so horribly is because Sony wants to hold on to the little bit of whatever that they got left.
Intellectual
And
property.
yeah, the little bit of shit that they can put out into the universe is hinged on the success that they can possibly try to do with the Spider-Man universe. They're doing shittily with it, which is hilarious because the main character of this universe, the only time that you can do a good movie is when you have him when he's not already booked for a Marvel
Man,
movie.
like I say, bro, I think they're gonna end up like trying to, Disney ends up buying everything. They already bought fucking Fox and shit, so you got Deadpool and all this shit, but all of this is secondary. Back to the point of this movie. Travis did say, while those movies are Sony, it's worth noting that an MCU character is stuck in that universe in Michael Keaton's Vulture. Haha. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I feel like the pacing of this movie was very like stop and go. Like you get a lot of shit, and then it just drag. Like it slows down for a while, and they just do shit, and then they do a lot of shit, and then they just don't do shit. You know what I'm saying?
I never watched the
That
show
type of
back in the
shit.
day, but I remember when the movies were releasing. It reminds me of Star Trek and the pacing of that. It's a lot of travel, it's a lot of dialogue, like you said, a lot of explanation with some action sprinkled in. And though in this movie the action scenes are big action scenes, I don't have a problem with any of the fight scenes that happen, whether they were in the air or on the ground. It's just a lot to get there. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of figuring out shit. Whereas you can say the same thing for a Winter Soldier. However, it's just more entertaining when it's Captain America and Black Widow instead of Nick Fury with a shitty hairpiece and Danvers. It just and that's it's a thing that can happen. You fucked up a little bit. You still got the movie off, and it made for a great 5-minute entry in the big movie. So good job.
1 second, Roots.
Yeah, you good. There was another one. Well, hold on. Oh, okay. Peter Quill on Earth getting arrested for driving his grandfather's car without a license, being represented by She-Hulk and flirting with her because she's green. Then she knocks him out. I
Yeah,
think.
because remember he was like in love with Rosario Dawson, and that bitch was a green
Yeah,
bitch. Like,
yeah. I actually can't wait for the because there's supposed to be a show coming out starring Peter Quill and just his life with his biological father on Earth, or his biological grandfather on Earth. I actually can't wait for that. I don't
that'd
remember
be
his name.
crazy.
He's a pretty good actor, so I'm excited to see where that goes. With the '90s nostalgia angle, they missed an opportunity to be passionate about passionate about something of that era. In the comics, it's Star Wars. Have her reading Heir to the Empire, which would be out, show that Carol is a dork, aside from showing her sing, which is most basic thing you can do. Yeah, they definitely missed a big part of that. You get that with the her landing in a blockbuster, which for them to remember exactly how Blockbuster set up for this movie, and Blockbusters had been closed for a good almost 20 years at that
Yeah,
point.
no,
Is
that's the funniest part to me is that the best way that they could show like carbon dating of this shit was that Blockbuster still existed back then.
and
Like
it's a movie
that's
character dropping into a movie store in
yeah,
the night.
like I just think that that's hilarious. It's like, okay, now you know how you can tell we're old? There's still physical Blockbuster stores, you know, and
Yeah, they definitely
you
missed a
got a
big part
fucking
with
you got a literal parking lot pimping mall cop just sitting out there, bro. That shit is funny too. She was like, "Are you the guardian of this sector?" He was like, "Well, the movie theater's got a different guy, but yeah."
that.
Like that shit.
Yeah, I actually didn't notice that. That's definitely something they could have leaned into. I feel like in any other movie that's based in a time before, they do everything, especially the 80s. Every time that there's a movie set in the 80s, they harp on the fact that it's in the 80s. I don't know
Yeah,
why we couldn't get that for this. Not even overdoing it, just show more.
I
Do
just
more
kind
than
of
just
don't like
a
that the
phone
whole.
and a freaking blockbuster.
I don't like that the Blockbuster thing was a throwaway thing. Like that
Yeah.
bitch crashed there at night, and like you never see like there was comedic potential there. I feel like and I feel like they just brushed past it. Maybe that's a stupid complaint. Maybe that's just a me thing. But like
I mean,
that's
we're
just
here
kind
to
of
we're
how I
here to
feel.
analyze, so I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, yes, I mean, people might have just been like, "Oh, it was an offhanded joke, and it wasn't meant to be that serious." And maybe not, but Like I just think there was some missed comedic potential there. I also do think that it's funny that they end up in swamp fuck Louisiana, and like the neighbor comes over and shit, and because he is so hillbilly-fied, Carol's like, oh yeah, the way you're talking, you gotta be an alien. Like,
Oh, really? You want to come see the bird? You and the
yeah,
boys, huh? you
that shit is
you
crazy, bro.
scroll fuck.
And also, to speak on another thing, like there's good comedic moments in here. She's sitting down there and she's like, all right, if you're, here's how we're going to determine if you're a scroll or not. He answers a bunch of shit. And then he's like, you didn't need that last one. She was like, nope. He was like, all right, well, how do I know if you're not one? And that bitch fires a fucking laser into the jukebox. And he said, what he said is exactly what I'm thinking. He's like,
How
how
the
the
fuck am I
fuck is that
supposed to
supposed to
know?
tell you
The,
I'm not
the
you're
fuck?
not a scroll?
I gave you
Like,
basic information about me to show that I was human, and you blasted energy from your hand.
well, that I'm about to say, it's the idea that, like, bro, I just found out about scrolls earlier today, yesterday, whatever the case may be. I don't know they don't shoot lasers out of their fucking hands. What does that mean to me? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like showing somebody who, like, an alien who never saw a fish before, and they're like, "How do I know you're not a fish?" And you like put your head underwater and can't breathe, and they're like, "What the fuck is that supposed to show me?" Like,
Looks like more like you're suicidal than actually answering my question.
exactly.
We could have had Nick Fury and Talos playing a Super Nintendo at Monica's house. That would have been a good there. You know what? In oh my god, like there's so many different ways that they missed on this. Instead of doing these stupid ass one-liners, just use the texture that you already have there
To
in
be
the
fair,
setting.
they did a little bit, Roots. They had AOL dial-up internet and shit, and they like referenced that a few times through about how shitty it was.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was like when they loaded the disc into the computer, and now
Yeah,
they're just sitting there staring at it. It's like, what are we waiting on? Just like it's loading.
bro, she's like trying to look up some shit, like at a library or whatever, and then that shit just says like disconnected or whatever type shit. Like that's really how it would be, bro. Something gets
Yeah.
fucked up and you gotta like dial up to that bitch. You couldn't use the phone or nothing.
Jesus Christ! Don't fucking get on the phone while I'm trying to get on the computer, bro. What are you
Man.
doing? Is that phone call that and fucking important? It's basically Men in Black. Stoic white experienced alien hunter meets a black cop who doesn't believe in aliens, then slowly starts believing. Yeah, that's pretty much it. This was 2019 Men in Black. Set in the 90s.
I don't know, man. Like I feel like part of the major difference is that Tommy Lee Jones didn't shoot lasers out of his fucking hands. But I get the spirit there, Like I kind of get what picking up what you're putting down. But it's so. I mean, Roots. Let's talk about it. Is this like technically a buddy cop movie?
I would say yes. Actually, 100% yes. Real quick before I dive into that,
Hey,
that's kind of
detriment.
fuck, nigga. I got shit popping up on my goddamn computer at the same time. They're fucking messaging me in Discord.
Yeah, you gotta cut
That's
that
kind
shit
of
off,
that's
bro.
kind of a detriment to the movie, as you can see when it shifts into copying another movie, and then becomes Independence Day with Monica with Monica flying a jet chasing an alien through a canyon. I never noticed that. Yeah. Wow. Hey man. I said this on Game of Thrones. I really
Hey,
like y'all when y'all comment, bro. Like
hey,
y'all bring a
respectfully,
lot of
man.
shit to the
Art
front.
bitch ass be going to bed so early. We might just have to have Travis run the crash course with us, man.
I'm
This
not
shit
gonna
is
lie.
ridiculous. Like,
I'm not gonna lie. He might just be a better co-host than Art.
hey, Roots, I bet he would have stayed up if it was to watch another Planet of the fucking Apes. It is
Nigga,
ridiculous, man.
we can run Planet of the Apes
Bro, I'm
tomorrow at
really mad
midnight,
as
and
a
he's
bitch.
gotta
I
be the
don't
first one
know.
there.
Like, I don't want to keep skipping these episodes of the podcast, bro, but like people are picking bullshit. And it's not even like, oh, it's a movie I don't want to watch. it's a movie that like it's movies that are wastes of picks, bro. Like we're watching shit that either we could have did a crash course on or that we've already reviewed, and I'm like, bro, what are y'all doing? Like, I said some shit as a troll, and Pujols really did that shit, man.
Bro, listen, man. When y'all talked about bringing this shit back, I said we should really delve into newer shit, because if this was a newer Netflix movie he picked, and they did a I don't know, a re-entry of Planet of the Apes, okay, cool. This movie came out in 2010 and is not relevant at all today.
I don't think it was that long ago, bro. Because the
Whenever
first
the
one
fuck it
came
was,
out
it's
after
not
that. I feel
relevant
like
today, is what I'm saying. And it's not relevant to a pick in February.
I
No.
agree that like a lot of this shit.
And
Like,
I'm sorry, time out. Why the fuck did Art pick a monkey movie in the middle of fucking Black History Month?
Art has picked 3 different monkey movies, bro. Like, literally, it's. I don't know what's going. Hey, bro, we you picked a
Tomorrow
black
is the
cowboy.
last day of Black History Month.
What was the
And
first
this nigga
movie?
picked a monkey movie. I was the first one to pick, and I picked Saturday Fall.
No, because so if like tomorrow's the 27th, we had The Blackening, and then we had fucking Harder Day Fall. What was before that?
Slim's pick of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh yeah, nothing to do with a movie where there was like one black guy in the whole fucking movie. Like,
cool, because I don't remember him.
Boy, it was like, because Alan Quartermain was in Africa for like a bunch of that time.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And like when he died, they had that dude, like that black dude, doing his funeral and shit in traditional African garb.
I think Slim got confused, and he looked at it the same way we look at Die Hard, because it's set during Christmas. We consider it a Christmas movie.
It's a black movie because it's based in Africa.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, man. Like this podcast, like this is the worst Black History Month ever for this podcast, man.
What a God! 2019 Men in Black before the awful 2019 Men in Black movie with Thor and Valkyrie. Yeah, I still have not watched that movie, and I don't plan on watching it at all. Planet of the Apes knew how to end shit. In the second movie, they blow up the Earth.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That I think it's really stupid that we're doing this shit, and I understand that it's like not truly culturally relevant, but them hoes do be putting up numbers. The last 2 Planet of the Apes, folks watch them hoes.
I still haven't. You know why? Because I got fucking spoiled. Charles Heston, is that how you say his name? Charles Heston? Charlton Heston was so done by the second movie, he literally set off a bomb that kills all of the apes and the humans. The narration says everyone on Earth is dead. The end. What? What? Is that really how that movie went?
I don't know, bro. I didn't watch that hoe.
All right, well, okay. Back to Captain Marvel. I know. Okay, I spoke on the fight scenes. How'd you feel about the action scenes?
Like I said, I mean, I think it's cooler. I think it's better. I think you're allowed to do more when like it's superpowers and shit. Even if it's like laser hands and shit, it's just more visually impressive. Like I was watching in the beginning when she got them cuffs and shit and can't get them hoes off her hands, but she is just like blasting shit. You know what I'm saying? I think that like it was just. I don't know that the fights were more well choreographed, but I think they included more like cool things to look at. You know what I mean? Sure. Like I don't know that it's that they were better structured. It's that they had like better weapons.
I tell you what, the Skrull face has to be extremely strong for motherfuckers that's getting smacked in the face with a metal rod on a bitch hand, who is basically a superhuman. And some of them are getting back up. Also, what was funny as shit to me, when she was chasing the one Skrull after they got on Earth, and he got on the train or whatever and was running from her and changed into an old lady, and he looked up and
socked that bitch in the jaw.
Socked the fuck out that bitch. That shit was hilarious.
And then she walked by Stan Lee on the motherfucking joint, you know. Like he's sitting there just keeps saying, "I have a mission for you, true believer," or whatever the fuck. Like we also didn't mention the Stan Lee cameo in Captain America. You know, he was sitting there. He's like, "I thought he'd be taller than that." Shout out to Stan,
Yeah,
man.
rest in peace,
R.I.P.
Stan Lee, man. We not gonna get any more of those. That sucks.
Yep.
Well,
Hey,
hell,
it's
we
just
might because AI is a thing.
yeah. I
Scrolls,
mean, I don't think they'll do too
scrolls
much
running
of it
around
though.
looking like some Brussels sprouts. Nah, these are some ugly fucks.
Man,
I
the
tell you that,
scrolls look like grown ass Cybermen.
bro. The motherfuckers look like scrotums in the face, bro. That shit is ridiculous.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. And like they be out there fucking and having kids, man. Like they had
Mush ass
the little
nose and
baby
shit.
scroll walking around looking all fucked up, man.
I couldn't help it. I was like, bro, that's an ugly
I
ass
don't think
kid.
you
Like,
ever. I don't think Roots. You didn't play Mass Effect, did you?
nah.
They got a motherfucker like they got some shit in there that like kind of look like that. The motherfucker look like Thane Krios and shit. And like you'll be able to see like you can look him up. He got like some black ass eyes and like some green skin and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he got gills and shit, man. Reading
Stanley was reading
Mallrats.
the Mallrats script, the Kevin Smith movie that would come out the next year. He plays himself. It was a great touch.
That's
Okay.
not that shit that I be seeing that fucking scene online sometimes. I don't think because that
What?
had to be an older movie, but like it's a motherfucker like he's definitely in the mall and Stan Lee's telling him like giving him a pep talk and shit in like the food court or something. But
Shit,
like
maybe I
there's
know. I've
no
never seen
way that because that there's no way because that would have been in 2020, bro.
I've never seen it. Like I said, Kevin Smith being the first director of Marvel movies, being he was the director of X-Men, which he's also the reason why that movie almost went to shit. But my favorite Stan Lee cameos are when he provides some kind of warmth to the character he interacts with. His cameo and Venom, where he says, "Don't give up on her. Either of you is perfect." My
You
favorite
know,
one is when he gets drunk in in Civil War, or I'm sorry, Age of Ultron. He bring that
Kevin
shit.
Smith wasn't the motherfucker that did all them X-Men movies. Because I
He didn't do
remember
all of
like
it.
it was like Michael Ratner or some shit at one point. And that guy was a weirdo, I remember, because I got on his ass when we was doing it. I listened to that recently where I got on his ass during that crash course. I was like, hey bro, what type of weird shit is you on? Because some shit he said.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure he just did the first one and then it switched over to that guy. He did the next two, and then that's when
They really be
what's
doing
the
that
name?
a lot, bro.
What? Switching directors?
Yeah, like switching directors like mid whatever, like they did that with the last set of Star Wars movies they came out with, and that's part of why they was all fucked up because the second like guy undid a whole bunch of shit that the first guy did. Then the
Yeah.
first guy was back in the third movie trying to like fix all the shit the second movie fucked up.
Says Mallrats released in 1995. That's one thing about directors, bro. Like a lot of their main goal is to not to tell a linear story, but to get high praise for putting out such a good movie. And they have absolutely no problem shitting on the previous director and what they did. They will erase the fuck out of that
That's
bitch if
wild.
they
That's
feel
like that fucking goofball that made Seven or Memento or whatever he made. And then he made that shit ass Alien 3. Like just fucked up what they had done with Alien 2 and shit. Man, I hate that fucking movie.
Yeah, nah. To go from the worst thing about Alien 2 being the CGI aliens to the next bad thing about the next movie is the plot in general. Like, you didn't do any better, sir. Like, I still got the second one over the third. I think I remember having the lowest rating for the third Alien movie.
No,
You're a shit,
I
bro.
listened to that crash course back recently. I don't think you did because I think I gave that bitch a 2, bro. I gave that movie like a fucking 2.
That shit. That's the
And
one that came in
I had
2007,
given
right?
the previous one like a 9.5 out of 10. The only thing I could say bad about it was a long fucking movie. But
Bryan Singer. Okay. Bryan Singer and Brett Ratner did the first 3 X-Men movies. Then Bryan Singer came back for the later ones. I'm guessing the later ones being what's it, First Class and
First
shit.
class of them.
First Class, Apocalypse, all that shit.
Um,
I know somebody, Kevin something. Then it's I don't know.
Kevin
I'm
Samuels.
thinking of the newer Kevin. What's his name? Kevin Feige.
Kevin Feige. Yeah.
Yeah, that nigga. That's what I was thinking of. He was the one that saved Hugh Jackman from making a huge mistake, which was listening to the Bryan Singer nigga talking about something. Oh, I don't want to have any
comic books
on
and
set.
shit. Yeah.
I don't want anybody reading any comic books while we're filming this movie. We want to make an original piece. Fuck you. Had you made something 100% original, there probably wouldn't have been a second one. The reason why Hugh Jackman ends up being the main character of all the rest of the movies is because he had the best performance in the first one.
I mean, yeah, but to be fair, they hoed Halle Berry in that shit. She didn't get hardly any lines talking. Like, and Cyclops is just boring. Roots, how did you feel?
It's so sad because the difference between him in a movie and him in X-Men 97 is vastly different, and it sucks.
Roots, how did you feel about like the big twist of the movie?
Being
like that once she gets her memories back, that she's really been fighting for like the pieces of shit the whole time, and that the Skrulls are actually just like trying to fucking like go get a home and shit, man. Like
hey, man, it's always a success when you can get a white person to admit their guilt on screen. I have no problem with that. She realized that she was a
whole movie an allegory for like racial tensions.
100%. Whole time she thought she was fighting a good fight. Meanwhile, all they were doing was relocating and distinguishing of Native Americans. So I mean,
hey, you know, I kind of preferred when they did it in A Time to Kill, but I'll accept it here.
you know, I'm totally fine with, like I said, white people admitting their guilt on screen. You know, if we can just get them to do it in a less weird, cringy way in real life, we're halfway there. You know, so I'll be unpopular and say I think about every X-Men movie is rough. Besides Logan and Deadpool 1 and 2, I actually think I actually like X-Men Origins a lot. It's dumb, but it doesn't pretend it isn't. That is true. My wife
Whenever we did the crash course, X-Men Origins, was my least favorite one. Like we started at the lowest point. My
wife is currently rewatching all of the X-Men's and all the Logan shit because that was like her before I really introduced her to all the other shit. That was the only shit that she watched was, like I said, the Logan shit, the X-Men's, and the all of the renditions of X-Men in that side of the Marvel universe, the FX Marvel universe. Now that you mention it, the movie kind of has an eerie quality now, given everything that happens this year alone. Yeah, what can you do, white people? You know, not KTL though; he's Native American.
What about the end of the movie and shit? Like where I think it's kind of funny when that like Buddy tried that little noble ass. She was like, "Yeah, let's see if you can finally beat me without being distracted." And she just blasted his bitch ass into a fucking mountain.
You thought you was not about to get blicked in your chest, and you got blicked in your chest.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like you out here copping a plea because you know anything but hands, she is on your motherfucking ass.
Even with hands, she might still fuck that nigga up.
Exactly.
She done gained her confidence and took the little chip out. Nigga, it's over for you.
But yeah, there's that. But then, like I say, you go like, how do we feel about the actual ending of the movie where like she's like, okay, I'm gonna go, help the Kree or help the Skrulls get themselves a new fucking home, and
I think had they released this movie earlier, we could have got a journey with just Captain Marvel on her little adventures. I mean, even with all of the shows that they've released, they didn't do that specific thing. I could have went without a fucking She-Hulk and just you have Carol in her many adventures in different universes saving aliens and shit. I'm pretty sure she was somewhat of a fucking bleeding heart out there, just going and rescuing shit like a universal Captain Planet. I'd have been
According
fine
to
with that.
Slim, she never did the shit she said she was going to, though, and that's
Yeah,
why
she
the
didn't.
Skrulls was pissed.
Yeah, that's why. What was it? Secret Invasion. That's what that was about. God,
Hey, bro, like, get over it, bro. I seen y'all in this movie. Y'all was out there bitching like, oh, please, we just want to have a home and whatnot. Y'all was friendly as fuck whenever, like, she was on your motherfucking ass, and now you're like, oh, you didn't keep your word, and now you want to be tough. Like, come on, bro. She beat the shit out the Kree and, like, let y'all make it another day, man. Meanwhile, y'all out here fucking around.
I mean, they could have did what any other alien race does and just invade some shit. They just wouldn't. They was too soft.
Yeah, bro. I'm gonna be honest, man. Like this. That's why I don't think this is This can't be no motherfucking allegory for the Native Americans, man. Native Americans got pushed out of their shit, but they definitely would have went and like took some other shit. They wasn't no
the Native
hoes.
American and the whole Native American war was Native Americans sick of America's shit and fighting back. So I mean,
I'm about to say, and they was like losing.
This is probably
to,
a
like,
little bit more
motherfuckers
like
was
slavery
using,
than
motherfuckers was using viral warfare and shit, bro. Like they had guns and they had fucking smallpox blankets and shit, man. Like they was. Hey, man, let me not get on this rant, but
we had another character re-entering as a different, or we had another actor re-entering as a different person in this movie as well. I can never pronounce his name, but
that black dude.
Yeah, when he was talking about
I peeped that.
He said what he said. He said
she said some shit like she was like,
laugh.
what about laughing? He was like, she was like, you never laugh. He said, I do, on the inside or whatever.
Just not right now.
What was he? He was in some other shit. What was he?
Never Back Down. Oh, you talking about Marvel wise? He was in the first Thor.
And was he?
He was in the first Thor, and I want to say he was. Yeah, I want to say he was in the first Guardians of the Galaxy as well.
I don't know if I think it would be a good idea or a shit idea if they, like, during the Doomsday Saga, like, they had people do all their fucking roles. You know what I'm saying? Like if they
I wish
with
we
the
could have got
multiverse,
more
like,
of that.
I mean, Chris Evans ain't gonna be a Human Torch no more. He got popped like a fucking blood bubble.
And that's what I was gonna say. I wish they would have did more of that in Deadpool Wolverine. Shit, fuck it. Have Michael B. Jordan come back as the Human Torch right after the first Human Torch gets fucking blown to shit.
That shit's crazy, bro. You just wanted them to, like, keep killing Human Torches. You wanted to see what's 100%. His bucket from Whiplash in that bitch, man.
A hilarious joke.
You wanted to see Miles Teller get hoed, like.
Yep. Just in that big ass fight, they just keep having the same character but a different actor come out. And these are all actors that played these characters previously. Yes, that'd have been funny.
Who the fuck did Jude Law play in the Marvel shit?
He played the dude, the bad guy.
That was in this movie?
Yeah, that was Jude Law.
Why do I feel like Jude Law was who am I thinking of then?
No idea.
Am I thinking of like Judd Apatow or some shit? Like, I'm thinking of a fucking white man with a mustache, bro.
You sound Amish as shit. You said Judd.
Yeah, that was the motherfucker name, like Judd Apatow or some shit.
Jesus Christ.
But I'm telling you, like, I'm thinking of I'm thinking of like aesthetically like Tom Buchanan or fucking what's his buck Daniel Day-Lewis from There Will Be Blood and shit. Like I'm thinking of a white man with a fucking mustache. I thought that was Jude Law. Maybe it was Jude Law Watson. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Talking about Watson from Sherlock Holmes. Yes, that is him.
Yeah. Okay, well that explains it. Yeah, because that's why I was thinking. Because that was always like, I've seen this guy, and I don't think that's what he looks like.
Yeah, that's 100% what he looks like. Oh, that's another person with a Star Wars check. He got multiple checks from Disney.
Buddy out here getting to the bag, and I can't be mad at him for that, honestly.
Never be mad at that. I think we're pretty much done, bro. Like, there it is. And I'm not gonna try to pronounce his name, but the dude I was talking about earlier is playing the same character.
Digimon Hanzo.
I didn't want to hold this nigga, bro, because I swear to God, I looked at it and I said, "Does that say Digimon?"
Dijon Bonjour.
Is playing the same character in this. He is in Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, okay. So in Guardians of the Galaxy, he's playing the same character.
Well, yeah, because they had Ronan come back. Ronan was in Guardians of the Galaxy, I remember as well.
So then maybe this is all the same character then.
To an extent, I mean, it's a prequel story and shit.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. I never caught on to that. G-Man Hanzo. Is that how you say his name?
I believe it's actually Hanzo.
That sounds like a rap name. Yeah, that sounds like he on a feature with Migos.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh wait, I missed one. I am curious when and how Jude Law's character returns to Marvel. His story isn't over, and he's been off grid for 30 plus years without mention since. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that they used somebody and then didn't use them again. Excuse me. It's whatever. There's nothing wrong with it. With as vast as the Marvel universe is, they can afford to not use some people. So it's fine. Whatever. I'm pretty sure they probably had run-ins in that time that she was in space and shit.
And then you have the post-credit sequence, where they did where like it is relevant to some shit we will see far later.
She pull up and say, "Hey, where my nigga Fury at?"
Yeah, and like Chris Evans is like, "Hey, you can't talk to me like that. I got a beard now." But
yeah, I think we're done. Yeah, that's been part 2 of the MCU crash course. Shit, what's next? Iron Man. Iron Man is next. So now we're getting more into the rhythm of what is more release driven. Because a lot of the stuff that was released that was kind of on par with. I think we might go back one more time out of order, but I think everything else is pretty much straightforward. Hold on. He was also the guy in Gladiator. Yes, that was him. Who buries Russell Crowe's little animal cracker in the arena at the end. Whatever the hell that was. Yeah, that's crazy. We actually just reviewed that. I want to say 4 weeks ago, 4 Fridays ago.
A little bit longer, but maybe
a little bit longer. But yeah, make sure y'all pull up next week for Iron Man. Pull up. We should be reviewing Scream 7 sometime this week. We would have did a crash course on it, but we already did it. So
final thoughts and rating, Roots.
Shit. This was a cool action flick. I did not have a problem with any characters per se or anybody's performance. I think I could have used a little bit more of the interaction with the agent, seeing that he was seeing as he played such a big role in us helping assemble the Avengers in the first place. I could have did a little bit more with him being shown or him being interacted with. He was very much a side character in this. Other than that, I'm cool on it. It's a good movie. I will give this a 8. I'll give 8.7.
Okay. Like I say, in my opinion, this is a more dynamic and enjoyable movie than the last one in terms of the fact that it is they've got some cooler powers they're able to work with in terms of the action sequences. They tell like a more complete story that is not just kind of milquetoast throughout. They are able to, like I said, I think that Captain America is a great character, but I think that he's a bit one-dimensional. This character right here has some tragic backstory, some demons. You know, they put some more comedy into the movie. I think that it's just a little bit better, and perhaps that's a result of the time gap there. Regardless, I think that it's a solid movie. I gotta say, I feel like it could have been a little bit shorter, but whatever. You know, Marvel gonna milk the movie for every minute they can.
Yeah.
I'd give this whole like an 8 flat. I think that's, I think it's a solid movie. I think that it's enjoyable. You know, like it's better than Captain America. And I wouldn't mind rewatching it, but it just doesn't like it's not going to be top 5 or anything. You know, but it's like solid, like probably middle of the pack or whatever. It's not the worst.
All right. Final score is an 8.4.
Damn, Travis gave that whole a 5.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, 8.4. Let me use this one.
Travis, what did you rate fucking Captain America? Pause.
Oh, this one looks better.
I mean, I don't know that there's much worse you can go at that point, Roots. Like, fuck. 5, bro.
Yeah, that is a 5. That's kind of crazy. But I think honestly, our rating system is a bit different than most. Especially since we've been doing this almost consistently for the past 3 years. You know, we just kind of rate shit different. Like his middle being 5, our average is 7. You know, that and that's been a consistent thing since the end of year 1. You know, so it's cool, whatever. Like I said, Iron Man next week, Scream 7 this weekend, Game of Thrones this weekend.
Planet of the Apes tomorrow.
Planet of the Apes. Which one is it? War for the Planet of the Apes?
I know, bro. I wasn't there last week. I don't think I'm gonna be there tomorrow.
But yeah, we got that tomorrow, so y'all pull up for that.
Also, apparently, Roots went and saw a movie today and found out there will be a new scary movie, so that'll probably be a crash course starting soon.
Scary movie. Marlon Wayans is back. He has taken the steering wheel for Scary Movie, or taken it back from the white people, and it's his movie again. So this will be likened to the first 2, so it's probably gonna be on the better side. And so we'll probably be doing a crash course of that. That's being released in June, so we'll probably start on that the month before. I think it's only like 5 movies or something like that.
There's probably at least 5 or 6.
Yeah, I might have niggas just watch 1 and 2 separate, do reviews on that, and then watch the 3 that's ass, and we just talk about how ass the other 3 are.
Come on, Roos, we gotta give him a chance, man.
For fucking what?
I mean, hey, bro, because we didn't watch motherfuckers gave Strange Thing About the Johnsons its own episode, man. Like, you gotta,
That's a standalone gay movie, though.
I feel you, bro. I'm just saying, like,
Damn, hold on. For me, this is top 5 worst MCU films, hence the rating. Damn. I don't know. I know the first Thor is in that top 5 for me. The first Thor is fucking terrible to me.
I'd really have to think of what the worst shit is for me.
Yeah, we'll have one by the end of this. We'll probably do an episode where we rank them or whatever, or we'll do it along the way. Whatever, it's fine. So yeah, y'all join the Discord so we can continue the conversation. Like the video if you have not liked the video. Share the video with your Marvel friends. And y'all keep pulling up and being in the comments. Travis can't hold down the comments by himself, bro, even though he does a very good job at it.
Yeah, man, where the fuck is Ice at, man? Ice be out here for all this other shit.
Ice catching up on Game of Thrones right now, so she busy. So
where Luther at, man? Where Luther Johnson and shit when you need him?
I don't like saying that name after we just talked about Strange Things About the Johnsons.
Man, I knew it, bro. Like, I mean, maybe he one of them. I don't know. Like,
he's one of the strange things. But Iron Man, yeah, y'all make sure y'all pull up next week for Iron Man, and peace out this bitch.